Hey everybody, Teresa here from Inspiration Cards, and I'm here to share our first card for this month's Stamp Jammies online card class featuring the Quiet Meadow stamp set. This has been one of my favorites from the annual catalog from the start, and I'm so excited to share these with you. So let's get to some crafting. So here's this week's card, a nice simple card with just a couple of little extras. So what you're gonna need for this card from your class supplies are the large piece of smoky slate. It's just a half sheet of the 8.5 by 11. You'll have 2 pieces of basic white. They're the exact same size. 1 strip of mint macaroon and a little bit of white baker's twine. Okay? All right, so let's get started and just fold our card base in half. Go, get that nice crisp clean fold. I can set that aside now. All right, so with one of your pieces of basic white, this first one is going to go on the inside. So you can choose whatever image you want on the inside, or if you want to add a phrase. I usually like to just add a little image inside, and that leaves lots of room to write a handwritten note, which is what I tend to do. All right, so on the inside, I'm gonna do the same. I'm just gonna grab these 2 teeny little flowers, and I'm actually gonna put them on the same block together. There we go. So get them nice and evenly spaced. 2 stamps stamped at the same time. And there we go. So if you wanted, you could add another 1 or 2. I'm going to leave that just like that. Just set that aside to dry. All right, and on our strip of mint macaroon, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to do a little tone-on-tone stamping with the paint splatter image. So this guy here. So you'll just want to stick that right to your block. Here we go. And again, just gently tap that onto your ink pad, and then I'm just going to rotate the stamp so I can not completely fill up the cardstock, but I'm going to get a bunch of it covered here. There we go. All right, and with our last piece of basic white, I'm going to start with the phrase. Actually, it'll help guide where the images go. So on my original design here, I did the "You're Too Kind." This time around, I'm going to actually swap it out for a "Thinking of You." Right? One of those kinds of cards that you never know when you're going to need it, and sometimes you just don't feel like making it when you do. All right, here we go. I'm trying to remember. It's a little... There we go. Ooh, no. All right, I want that up a little higher. It's a nice thing about stamping, right? Make a mistake, just flip the paper over. There we go, that's better. All right, that's a little better positioned. You could also take another piece of basic white and then pop it up with dimensionals if you want. That's another way, and gives an extra layer to that as well. Okay. And then for our last bit of stamping, you want to grab your flowers on the stem, so complete flower. Okay, and we're going to stamp 2. So we're going to stamp, not really too worried about this side. So I'm going to stamp this one here, just a little bit off center and on a little bit of an angle. There we go. Flowers don't always grow straight up and down, do they? You don't have to worry about direction too much. Here we go. And then this guy is going to go right down here. There we go. All right, so there's our stamping. So let me close this up quickly before I end up with my fingers in it. There we go. And I'm going to set this aside to dry for a minute. And let's bring back in our other pieces here. And we're just going to get to some sticking. All right, so whatever your go-to is, liquid glue, glue dots, tape runner, whatever that is. So that first piece we did is going to go on the inside, like I mentioned. There we go. Just going to flip that over. There we go. One of my corners looks a little smushy. All right, there we go. All right, and this should be dry enough that I can just stick this on now. Being extra generous with my tape runner today because I want to make sure that this sticks really good. There we go. And before I add this on, I'm going to grab that strip of basic white. Okay, and we're just going to tuck that underneath here. There we go. And we're just going to tie a simple bow. If you want to add a little bit of liquid glue or a mini glue dot to kind of keep that nice and tight and in place, that's definitely one of the tricks that I do from time to time. We'll see how this goes today. There we go. All right, just gonna make my bow a little smaller here. My loops, there we go. And I'm just gonna give a little bit of a trim. There we go. All right, so with that done, here we go. Now I can pull in my tape runner. There we go. And that's going to go right here on the left-hand side. There we go. So nice and simple, right? And you can step it up with just a little bit of twine and, of course, a little bit of bling. I'm just going to grab, there we go, my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to scoop up a few here with the spatula end here. There we go. Nope. There we go. You're getting away on me today. All right, there's two. And I like to do it in odd numbers. So I'm going to grab one more and just tuck that right down there like that. All right, and as always, I do have another card design with the same stamp set. So again, here's our Quiet Meadow stamp set, right? There's that same floral image and that same paint splatter, and it is actually also mint macaroon, because I'm pulling the mint macaroon from the hand-penned designer series paper design that I've used here. And then here, see, I've just popped that up very simply. You can always die cut if you want, but sometimes simple is just as nice. And then I've done the card base in Highland Heather. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this week's cards, and I'll be back next week to share another card featuring the Quiet Meadow stamp set. Now, if you want to get your hands on just the class supplies for this month's Stamp Jammies online card class, it's just $25, and that includes shipping to anywhere in Canada. Just add a little bit extra if you live outside of Canada. I'm happy to do that as well. And that's just the class supplies. Or if you want to get in on next month's Stamp Jammies online card class and get the full class kit, which includes the Dahlia Days stamp set. Super excited to share this with you guys. One ink pad, some coordinating designer series paper, and of course all of the class supplies, including shipping. So if you have any questions about my classes or Stampin' Up or paper crafting in general, you can drop it in the comments below, or you can send me an email at inspirationwiththeresa@gmail.com. And of course, you can check out my other projects on social at Inspiration Cards on both Facebook and Instagram. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon.